Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. So in this class I'll be teaching you how to make the down part of this beautiful dress. It's partly flared and it's also partly pleated. So we have two ways to go about this. First, I will be using my waist circumference. So the circumference of my waist is 36 right here. That is what I'll be working with. And then I'm going to cut this at 180 or half a circle. Okay, 180 flare or half a circle. So now if I'm working with this 180, you can work with 180 or 90 degrees flare. Okay, so these are two flares, but I just feel like using 180, so I will have it flare up a little bit, because this 90 degrees might not really give us a flare, much flare. So you can work with this or this. So in this class I'll be using 180 degrees to demonstrate this. So this is how to go about it. The circumference of my flare is 36. I'll add zipper allowance of 2 inches. Then since I'm working with 180 degrees, I'll simply divide by 3.14, which is a constant, okay, for half a circle. So now this will give me 38 over 3.14. So whatever your radius is right here, that is what we are going to use to cut the whole of this. So now, since I'm working with just a small fabric, I'll just choose whatever radius I would like to work with. But note that you need to have this calculation done, this radius. That is what you are using to do this. So to achieve this, I'll simply bring in my fabric I'm working with and I'll place it on fold this way. Okay, so I'll just place it on fold. You can see how I placed it. So from this particular point, I'll start to cut my circle, my 180. So I'll just go ahead and make use of let me use 7 inches as my radius as an example. Please, this is just an example. Calculate your radius and work with it. So you can see what I'm doing right there. I'll just calculate, go ahead and work with 7 inches all around. So this is my radius. Now the length of my skirt, you determine where your skirt is going to be. So for me, I'll just use what I have on this length, which is 10 inches. So I'll work with 10 inches as the length of my skirt. Note that we have our allowance here too. We have our zipper allowance as well. So I'll just go ahead and do this and do this and do that. So once I've gotten my full circle, my half circle, I'll just go ahead and cut off the radius. Okay, I cut off my radius and I go ahead and cut off the length of my skirt. So this is it. I'll cut off the length of my skirt. So here I'll call it my center front. I'll make a notch to it as my center front. The open side will serve as my center back, which is the zipper. Then I will fold this into 2. What I'm doing right here is exactly what you are going to do on your fabric, the fabric you are working with. You fold it into 2 again and make another notch. Please take notes. You make another notch. So this is what I have. I have this notch on the center of this. I have my center back, which is open. I have my center front. So right now I'll pick it up from this center. This is how this skirt is supposed to be, if it's to be a flare on the center back, okay, with its zipper allowance. Okay, so now I'll turn it to the front this way. This is our center front. This is the center front of this skirt. Can you see? So now we want to replace what we have from this point we notched. We are going to replace this section now with a pleating. So what I will do is I will just add 1 inch. While I'm adding this 1 inches, so you'll be able to hem the use the 1 inch to hem the mouth of that fabric, because the pleated part is going to be inserted inwards. So I will use this 1 inch to hem it. So see what I'm going to do now. I'll just go ahead and cut my fabric after that 1 inch here. I'll come to the side of this fabric and I'll cut it exactly, just exactly what I'm doing. That's what you are going to do. So you see this section, that is what we are going to use to replace as our flare. So at the end of the day, this is what you will have. You still have your center back, which is the zipper, and you still have the center front. The only part that is going to be replaced with pleats is this. So I'll just get my fabric right now and I'm going to replace it with pleats on what I have on this measurement. This is how it was before. So I can decide to, because I'm going to insert it inwards. So this is what I will do. Just look at what I do before I take this off. This is the center front. I'll measure from here to here, and here I have 5.5. Then I'm going to insert that pleat up to 2 more inches inwards. Because I'm working with a small fabric, that's why I'm using 2 more. For you, you can use 4 inches if you're working with a big fabric. So I'll measure the circumference of what I'm going to replace this way. Can you see what I'm, so here I'm using pleating 8 inches. So I'll take off this one and I get my fabric. Alright, so now that 8 inches, I'll just set this one aside right now. So that 8 inches, I'm using this fabric to replace it as an example. So the fabric you are going to use will be either crepe, light crepe, or chiffon, or whatever, as you can see. So the length of this is 10 and the width I'm replacing is 8 inches. So 10 by 8 inches. But note that since it's a pleat, I'm going to multiply the width by 3. So I'll be using 24 inches. So just for demonstration class or demonstration tutorial, I'll just go ahead and cut this fabric right now. So I'm just cutting this fabric to demonstrate. So I'm using everything I have here, but for you, you'll be multiplying whatever measurement you want to replace by 3, because it's actually a pleat. We are making a pleated dress right here. So I'll just measure 10 inches. So this is where I have 10 inches. So I'll just go ahead and replace my pleats. So I'll just go to my machine now, after which I will also iron out the pleats. So I'll just go over to my machine right now and I'm going to pleat. You know how to make your pleats, you know, you can make it as small as you want. So I'll keep pleating them this way, that way, till I get my 8 inches. Then I'll bring it back to show you how. Alright people, so here is the zipper and here is the other side of the flare. Okay, so make sure you have your notch part to determine the side. So I've already pleated the other parts. Okay, so I just use my Ankara to do that. So like I said, you need to use a fabric that frills. Okay, not really a soft fabric, that's what I actually means. So I'll just go ahead and run these parts, as in I'm going to hem this part, or however you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. So these parts will have to be on top, overlap this way. Note that the part I marked is the center front area. So here is going to overlap here. Then you stitch this side to this side, you know, normally. Then this becomes the front. You just go ahead and attach this, as you can see right there. Then your zipper remains your zipper. I believe you understand that. So that's how to go about it. So this part has to go right in, and the center front will overlap it this way. Then you stitch on this part to make it form one full skirt. So you can now go ahead and top stitch on top of it to the end, so it holds it down for you. So you just go to the machine and top stitch on top this way. Okay, run a top stitch to it this way. I believe this is understandable. Then you stitch from the inside the normal way, then you attach. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial once again. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you for coming. See you in the next class. Bye.